Hey, welcome back to the Slay the Spire 2 at home video series where we try to make our homemade implementation of Slay the Spire 2 one tiny step at a time. So I've been super busy lately. It might, take longer than usual for me to, come out with more episodes, well, the next episode at least, right? But so yeah, I'm not going to talk too much, don't want to waste time. Just get right into it. So today we want to add the large capsule and the small capsule to the list of now options, right? Because that's something that's in real Slay the Spire too. Like, you can get relics, right? And right now we don't have that in our project, so yeah, we need to add that. First of all, I did implement a lot of the relics from the original Slay the Spire before I started making these YouTube videos, so we need to change the relic pool to be more like, well, Slay the Spire 2, right? Because a lot of the relics didn't make it, right? And some of the relics that did make it over got changed, right? So I didn't implement all the relics, of course, right? I didn't get that far, but I did have a start in from the original Slay the Spire, so we need to change the relic pool to at least, move, port over some of the relics that we do have, right? So yeah, let's do that first. So if I go into relics, right, so we have a relic pool, so let's just duplicate this resource, make Slay the Spire 2 relic pool, right? Then we go into, at the start of the game, when we set the relic pool, we need to change that to be the Slay the Spire 2 relic pool that we just duplicated, right? So let's go into the relic pool, yeah. So let's change the path, right? So this will not be this relic pool, but it'll be the one we just made. And so I did write down, yeah, this is the path, right? Okay, yeah, that should be right. So I did write down what the changes were of the relics that I do have. So we need to remove some of these relics from the game because they didn't make it into Slay the Spire 2. And that kind of explains why we haven't been running into Preserved Insect, Kunai, and Shuriken in our Slay the Spire 2 runs, right, when we've been playing the game. So I was wondering about that, but yeah, it looks like they didn't make it. Okay, so delete the Preserved Insect, right? We delete the... What else do we need? Delete the Kunai and Shuriken. Well, not delete. I'm just deactivating them from the, So, I mean, yeah. I can activate them again. I'm not deleting the actual files. They're just being removed from the list, right, of which ones are actually being used. So, but yeah, we're getting rid of the Kunai. We're getting rid of the... oh, shoot. I'm editing the wrong file, aren't I? Ah, darn it. Hold on. It's a good thing I noticed that. So we want to edit the Slay the Spire 2 relic pool, not the original one. Yeah, so we delete the preserved insect. We delete the, well, not delete, deactivate, right? Deactivate Kunai, deactivate Shuriken, deactivate Duvu doll, Ginger, let's see, Thread and Needle. I guess we can deactivate all the boss relics since they're awarded differently than from the original Slay the Spire, right? Because in the original Slay the Spire, when you kill the boss, you got, well, the Act 1 and Act 2 bosses anyways, you got a list of boss relics. It works differently in Slay the Spire 2. So we're going to have to change a lot of the logic. So for now, we're going to just get rid of these boss relics from the game, right? Or until we hook up the Slay the Spire 2 relic. Okay, Clockwork Souvenir is gone, right? And then the orange pellets are gone. Yeah, okay, so we had the rest of them, right? And we're not going to worry about the shop costs, right? That's out of scope for this episode. And then some of the relics from the original Slay the Spire, they were changed, right? So we need to change those. So Akabeko is uncommon now, right? So let's go and duplicate that resource. So this will be Slay the Spire 2 Akabeko. So we'll move that into move that into a new folder, right? So this will be in the Slay the Spire 2 folder, so uncommon. So yeah, we'll put the Slay the Spire 2 Akabeko there. And then swap that out in our Slay the Spire 2 relic pool, right? So move that to the uncommon section just for organization, right? It doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah. And then the, what else? So the pen nib is uncommon now also. Alright, so we need to get rid of the old pen nib, duplicate that. I also need to actually make the Slay the Spire 2 Akabeko uncommon, don't I? I don't think I did that. Okay, so let's, yeah, uncommon. Okay, so Slay the Spire 2 pen nib is also uncommon. I'll move that into the Slay the Spire 2 uncommon section. In the Slay the Spire 2 relic pool, we already deactivated the pen nib, right? Yeah, so let's go and add that for the uncommon version. Slay the Spire 2 pen nib. Yeah. Okay, what else? Meat on the bone is rare now. Okay, so let's get rid of meat on the bone. So if we go into the old uncommon meat on the bone, we'll duplicate that. Oh, this is Slay the Spire 2 meat on the bone. This will be rare. Make a new folder under the Slay the Spire 2 folder for rare. Put meat on the bone there. Go to our relic. Whoops. Go to our relic pool. So we'll add that. I moved the wrong resource file, didn't I? What am I doing? Hold on. I need to move the Slay the Spire 2 meat on the bone to the... Okay. Alright. So yeah. Okay, go back to our relic pool. We'll put Slay the Spire 2 meat on the bone here. Move that to the rare section. Yeah. Okay, what else? Strike dummy is common. Okay, so it used to be uncommon, right? So we'll duplicate that. And we're not going to worry about changing the images from the, old Slay the Spire to the new Slay the Spire. We don't care about that right now. Yeah. Okay, so for now though, yeah, let's duplicate these resources. So Slay the Spire 2 strike dummy. This is a common now. And so we'll make a folder under here for common. Oops. Common. Slay the Spire 2 strike dummy. Yeah. Okay, so did I get rid of the old strike dummy yet? No, I didn't. I need to get rid of that. Add the common strike dummy to our Slay the Spire 2 relic pool. So this will be right here. And then, okay, the toxic egg is rare now. Okay. So let's go into toxic egg, duplicate that. Spire 2, toxic egg. Oh, did I change the strike dummy? Okay, I did, right. Let me just make sure I change these. Okay, Slay the Spire 2 toxic egg is a rare. And then we'll move that into the rare folder. Okay, go into Slay the Spire 2 relic pool, get rid of the old toxic egg. Put in the new toxic egg, right? Okay, so let's put that there. Yep, right there. Okay. So we've done that. We've taken care of a relic pool, so... And as far as I know, the relic chances are the same as in the original Slay the Spire. Like, if they aren't, well, we need to change that, but, I haven't heard any differently, so we'll just leave that alone for now. And then, okay, so now we need to add the actual buttons, right, to the now event. Right? So we need to add the options to have a chance of getting the option, right? So large capsule, we'll do that first, right? Because, well, large capsule is alphabetical order before small capsule. That's the only reason. I don't really care which order I do them in. So let's go into Slay the Spire 2 now, right? Where we add a large capsule to the trade-off pool, right? So let's put that there. Capsule. So we'll add, another entry to our kind of trade-off pool and then tuple, dictionary. So let's just copy and paste from Leafy Poultice. We'll just make that the large capsule. Yeah. And then this will be the large, which I've already copied the image I downloaded from the wiki to the assets folder. So yeah, that's taken care of. And then the string that's on the button, right? The text is, I put that here just to save time, right? So let's put that here. So large capsule is this text, right? So not the Leafy Poultice text, but the large capsule text. And then we'll have a new function that when you click the button, right? and then we'll need to make a new resource file for the large cap. Well, we need to make a script first for that too, right? So let's go into relics, Slay the Spire 2, meow, right? So we'll make a new one. Well, this will be large capsule script, and then this will be a relic. Inherits relic, yeah. So this is large capsule. We'll call it large capsule. Okay, so what happens to Slay the Spire 2 when you take a large capsule? Like, you don't get a rewards list like this, right? For a small capsule, you just get the relics. Like, it just adds them to your, to the relics you have. No time wasting stuff, right? And then it adds a strike to your defend. After that, the order is important because the relic, you might get a molten egg, right? You might get a toxic egg, and that can upgrade the strike or defend. So let's add that, right? So there will be like an initialize relic function, right? So we just, we'll copy that. So large capsule. So when you get the large capsule, you get 2 random relics based on the normal relic chances, right? So relic handler dot add relic. Yeah, I think I've got a relic generating function, just right here in global, right? So this will just do that. So okay, so we do that, and then we do it twice, right? Because we're getting 2 relics. Okay, and then we add the striker and defend, right? So let's just have a. I guess we can just put the path there, right? So, and for now, I guess we won't worry about other classes. We're just doing Ironclad first. We don't have the other classes, right? So that's also out of scope. So class specific strike defend from large capsule. Yeah. Okay, but we'll make a note to ourselves so we do that in the future if we ever get that far, right? So, okay, but for now, let's see. So this will be like Ironclad strike, right? So this will be a card is player characters, slash Ironclad cards slash starter slash strike, yeah. And then we'll do the same thing for defend, just put the path right at the Ironclad defend. Okay, so we do that, and then this will be defend. Okay, so then you, so we'll need to make those strike card equals Ironclad strike dot duplicate true. The true or false is for deep copy or shallow copy, because we want it to be a deep copy so that when we upgrade a strike, right, it's a separate, so that particular strike will be upgraded, not the but and it won't be upgraded when the resource is duplicated from is upgraded. Well, we never use the resources duplicated from, but basically every card needs to be its own, separate, has its own separate value. So when you have a lot of strikes, like when you upgrade one, it doesn't upgrade all of them, it only upgrades one, right? So okay, so we do that. But we also just said that if you get, a toxic egg or molten egg, like we don't have molten egg in our project yet, but, toxic egg, right? And then when we add the molten egg in the future, we'll have to take care of that, right? So we do need to make sure that those get upgraded properly, right? So, and we already have a function for that, I think. So we'll say global.check for free upgrade strike, right? And then so what this does is basically just hard-coded, right? So if you have a toxic egg, if it's a skill, it'll upgrade it. And then in the future, when we add the molten egg, we'll do the same thing, right? So yeah. But for now, we'll just do this, right? So yeah. And then in Slay the Spire 2, like when you take the large capsule, the strike does get added before the defend, right? So yeah, like that. So we do add them in that order. Yeah. Dot add or add card strike, and then we add the defend, right? So okay, so that should be our large capsule, right? The actual script. So now we need to make the resource file for the large capsule. So we'll make a relic. Oh no, it'll just be a large capsule, right? Yeah, and then we do the large capsule.tres, I guess, and then yeah. So this will be the large capsule. The ID can just be large capsule. This can just be event all rarity. Oh yeah, we need to put a to do, right? Add like class specific strike defend, right? Okay, so and then okay, so the large capsule we need the relic icon, right? So did we? Yeah, we already copied it. Okay, so then the tooltip is just the name of the relic for the title, right? So let's put large capsule. All right, so the description is just I already put it here, but basically it's a text that when you hover over large capsule in your relic bar, that's the text that shows up, right? So let's just put that here, which I've already put here to save time, right? So upon pickup, obtain 2 random relics, add an additional strike and defend to your deck. Yeah, okay, so this one's deprecated. I'm not using that anymore. All right, so let's go back to our Niao script. We make we'll put the path to the large capsule here, right? Large capsule. Okay, and then when we need to add this large capsule function too, right? And that'll be our trade-off in the trade-off section. So we'll just put this right here, right? So we'll just copy it from the leafy poultice. So when you click the large capsule button, right, you'll get a large capsule and not a leafy poultice. Yeah, and then the function name will be capsule. Okay. So that's the large capsule, right? Hopefully that'll work. So let's do the small capsule now. Okay, and so one thing, I don't actually like the way the small capsule works in actual Slay the Spire 2. So what happens is, like, when you click the small capsule, you get this reward screen, right? And then so this gives you the option to skip it or not. And this seems like a complete waste of time to me. Like, this just seems bad, right? So the only functional difference compared to if we just handled it the same way as the large capsule is that we can skip it. But if we wanted to skip it, like, why would we have taken the small capsule to begin with? It doesn't seem it's adding anything of value. It's not fun, right? If you wanted to go for an achievement where you're not taking relics, like, you wouldn't have picked the small capsule option to begin with. So it just seems like a complete waste of time, just like the proceed button on Niao. So I'm not actually going to do that. We'll just do it the same way as the large capsule for now. And then we'll make a note to ourselves that that this is what happens in actual Slay the Spire 2. But unless we get some inspiration of, oh, that's why they did it, right? Unless we realize, like, there's a good reason, right? We'll just do it the same way as the large capsule for now. So what I'm guessing happened is, right, in real Slay the Spire 2 is that, well, that the default is probably to show the reward screen, but they thought it would be clunky if you did it for the large capsule to to then add the strikes to your deck after you get the relics if you just had to click them like that, right? So I guess for some reason maybe they wanted each user interaction to be a certain amount of time, or just to be to be displayed in a certain way. But yeah, I like it better just to save time and just do it the same way as the large capsule. So we'll just do that. Okay, so the same thing here for the small capsule, right? We add the functions that we put here. Small capsule. Okay. And then yeah, we need to add a small capsule down here. We'll need a comma here too, right? So let's just we can have trailing commas. That's fine. Okay, so small capsule, small capsule, yeah, and then, well, the text is this, right? Like that, like so, and then it'll call the small capsule function, right? Which we haven't made yet, but we'll do that now. So then when you get instead of this, right? Okay, so we don't need to wait for an event, right? Yeah, so we'll just copy paste this for the most part. Get rid of that. Call this small capsule. Yeah, and then oh, did we actually rename the variable in our large capsule function? Oh, we just did it this way. Yeah, we can just do it this way because, like, we're not connecting to an event, right, from the okay. So small capsule dot duplicate. Yeah. Okay. So now we need to actually add the small capsule, right? So it'll be another thing, sort of like here. Uh, so this will be small capsule. So we'll need to make a script for that too, right? So that'll be small capsule relic. So well, yeah, just do class name small capsule, and it'll be like the large capsule except we only add one relic, right? And then we don't add the strikes and defense. Okay, so just like that, and then we'll create the resource file. So this will be a small capsule. Whoops. Did I get the small cap? Yeah, okay. Looks like it did. It took. Okay, so we put that here. And then we'll just fill in the, the stuff in the inspector. And maybe in the future I need to refactor the title tooltip that it just puts the relic name in bold, right? But, for now I guess this is fine. I don't really care that much. I'll just do some copy pasting. Okay, so same thing, right? Oh, did I make the large capsule for all classes? Okay, yeah, that should be fine, right? Oh, it shouldn't be starter, right? There should be event. Event. Okay. So small capsule. Okay, so let's get the image for the small capsule, right? Then we'll put the text there for the title. So this will be the small capsule, and then the text that appears when you hover over it, right, is the this text right here. Upon pickup, obtain a random relic, right? It's similar to the text that's on the button. It's not quite the same. It doesn't have the upon pickup, right? I mean, the button doesn't have the upon pickup, and then the obtain is capitalized because of that. But yeah. Okay, so whoops. So let's just copy this here. Okay, so that's there now, right? So we have this small capsule.tres. It's in here, and then that's not breaking anymore. And then so when we yeah, okay, so that should be in there now, right? So we've got a okay. So are we ready to test now? And then yeah, no, we're not ready yet because small capsule and large capsule are mutually exclusive, right? Because in Slay the Spire 2, you can't be offered both the large capsule and the small capsule option, right? So yeah, so we need to handle that case also. So we need to go into here, right? So if we get the large capsule, then we will remove small capsule from the positive only pool, right? And then so we yeah, okay. Now I think we're ready, right? So we just because we're not doing the stupid thing where we show this, reward screen. We'll do that later for other things because you kind of need that, but for small capsule, I don't see how this is adding any fun or any value, right? But I should make a note of that too. So yeah. In Slay the Spire 2, like let's say in real Slay the Spire 2, the reward screen is shown and you get the small capsule from there. Yeah. So in case we think of like a good reason why that has to be there, we'll just have a note for ourselves later. Okay, so for now, let's just, let's make sure the basic behavior is working, right? So the text needs to show up right. It needs to actually do what it's supposed to do. You actually need to get the relics and cards, right? So let's just make sure that works. Okay, so let's go into here. Okay, so large capsule, right? Oh, this text is a little bit too big, right? So it doesn't fit. So what do we do about that? So in actual Slay the Spire, I guess they use the... So it looks like proportionally they use a smaller font size, right? Well, maybe we need to just do that. Or maybe we're... yeah, I guess we could just make the font a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's go into the... I mean, maybe it's a thing about spacing also, I don't know. So go into here. So right now we're putting... So we're saying... This thing right here, right? So the theme is the... I mean, is it just the top bar or is it... No, because both lines are the same font, right? Just the top line is bolded. Okay, so it's fine if we just make them... Let me just make sure I have the theme set. Okay, it is this one that I'm using, right? So if I go in and... so maybe we just... right now, what do I have this for? Oh, so right now I'm using 32. That is a bit big, right? So let's just... Well, let's go down to 28 for now. See if that's enough to fit the large. Well, I could even type it in at design time just to make sure, right? So yeah, let's do that. So the text that needs to be shown is the large capsule one. That's a pretty long string. Okay, so let's just change it in design time. So this up here. Okay, so we change that to... Uh-oh. So here, let's just do it this way. Okay. Does that fit? Okay, that fits better, right? So 28. So we'll make the font a little bit smaller. Okay, good. Let's retest that. All right, so no, we didn't get large capsule or small capsule. So try this again. Small capsule. Okay, obtain a random relic. That's the right text, right? So obtain. Yeah. Okay, so we need to make sure it actually works, right? So we go here. Okay. So we got a mango, RHP. Okay, we did get the mango effect, right? Okay, so that seems to be working, right? I mean, maybe the tooltip for mango is different than, you know, in real Slay the Spire 2. That'd be something I'd have to check, right? There's probably a period at the end of it, but yeah. Yeah, I can check that some other time. I don't really care that much right now. But yeah, small capsule. That looks right? Yeah. I mean, this might have been from original Slay the Spire. I mean, in original Slay the Spire, they also showed the relic icon. Maybe they also showed a period at the end too, but yeah, it's not a big deal right now. So maybe that's something, you know, to do. Maybe check to see if relic tooltip for mango has a period at the end. But yeah, not a big deal. I don't care that much. Okay, so we got our mango, right? Okay, so let's make sure the large capsule works, right? So we have to make sure we get a strike and defend in that order, and then... Okay, didn't get it this time. Oh, we can get another relic. I got Akabeko. Yeah, because yeah, this is what I did there. I didn't make the image right size here, but yeah. In original Slay the Spire, they did show the image, right, to the... Yeah, next to the relic. In Slay the Spire 2, I don't think they do that, at least not yet. Alright, so we go into... Nope, still no large capsule. We'll just keep restarting until we get it, right? Alright, okay, here we go. Large capsule, the text looks right now, right? Well, at least it fits in the button, right? Obtain 2 random relics, add additional strike or defense. Okay, that looks right? So let's do that. Okay, we got a coin, right? We got anchor. And then, okay, so we got 300 gold from the coin, yeah. And then... Okay, we did get strike and defend in that order, and I don't care that they don't look like the Slay the Spire 2 cards right now, right? That's who cares. Okay, but yeah, now we're where we want to be at the end of this episode. Oh, one thing I noticed that the old coin flash and the anchor didn't, right? So maybe I could consider, you know, making... I mean... Because right now, I think when I'm adding the relic, right? Do they? Hold on. So when we add the relic, yeah, we don't make it activate by default, right? So the reason the coin showed the animation was because we were getting gold, right? In actual Slay the Spire 2, maybe they do flash a bit when you get them to begin with, but yeah, right now we don't have it doing that. Right now we don't care that much either, though, right? So yeah, right now I think in the gold gain relic script, I think I just have it doing the animation. I can check that real quick. But yeah, that's probably not a big deal right now. We just want to make things functional first. So if I go into shared relic, gold gain relic, yeah, so right now I'm playing the animation when we get, okay, when we first gain. Okay, but yeah, we've got our large capsule and small capsule. So maybe we'll do an event next time, like maybe add Jungle Maze Adventure. Well, we've been really busy lately, right? Maybe we just do Jungle Maze Adventure first, right? And then to have it, because right now when we go through the game, we're always going to get the original Slay the Spire events, right? Because we haven't actually added any of the Slay the Spire 2 events right now. Right. Oh, did I get the block the first turn? I don't think I did I? The anchor didn't work. Hold on, what went wrong with our anchor? Let me see. So, block gain. Oh, when I changed the default variables, did I not update them for anchor? Because I refactored it so that... Hold on. No, that part's fine, right? Block on turn 1. So right now... Yeah, did that not work? I don't think it did. Maybe I need to test that. Hold on, let me cheat in an anchor and let me just... Okay, so let's... Did the anchor not work? Oh, because I didn't change it to it. Okay, because at one point I made it in from a start of combat to just like to do be based on the turn, not like the based on the combat. That's probably what happened, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's change it to start of turn, right? That's probably what we need to do because that's what we did for the captain's wheel and then the horn cleat. Is that? So if we go into uncommon. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, not combat by turn. So it's just some refactoring bug, I guess, that I didn't completely test out. Okay. So let me make sure I'm getting the block from Anchor if I cheat that into my deck or into my relic list of relics at the start. Okay. So now, oh, we have a Mercury Hourglass too. Okay. So now, okay. Now we got the block from Anchor, right? And then, yeah, is it playing an animation when? So we're graying it out, and then let me see. So yeah, it starts out not grayed out, and then when we start combat, okay, it does the thing. Okay, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do, right? Okay, so yeah, that's okay. Now we're where we're at. Like we fixed some random things that weren't really the focus of this episode, but yeah, that happens, right? Okay, so yeah, next time maybe we'll do Jungle Maze. And yeah, again, I've been really busy, like, and I'll be busy the next few days, so it might take longer than usual. But eventually, when we do episode 18, we'll add an event. Oh yeah, I did want to demonstrate like the thing when I was talking about, right? So when we go through the game, right, where then we're doing our events. So we're always getting the original Slay the Spire event because I haven't actually added anything from Slay the Spire 2, right? So this is a Shining Light event on Non-Ascension, right, from the original Slay the Spire. But yeah. So whenever we get around to it next time, right, we'll do the Jungle Maze adventure from Slay the Spire 2, start swapping out some events. Yeah. But yeah, until next time.